Okay, Lee. Bad news, Lee. My tan is fading
Oh,
rapidly right now. If you guys go back
already?
and look at last week's campaign kickoff call to today, I'm returning to my normal New England pale state. Very depressing. But what's not depressing, Lee, is we are back, my friend, for campaign
That's right.
kickoff call on Mondays. We are thrilled to be here. Today's going to be a great session because we're going to go through the plan this week, what we have lined up for you. And we're going to talk about principles and strategies. We always have new people show up on today's call. We always have some newbies. So by the way, if you're new to campaign kickoff call, just put a W in the chat right now. Let us know if you are new or if you're an OG, put OG in the chat. But these are like a staple of listing leads, which is kind of getting our community fired up about what we have planned this week for you. So we're going to go through the strategy, we're going to go through the tactics, we're going to go through the plan, and then also, you know me, Lee, I love bonuses. I can't live without them, right? My entire
Yes.
life is driven by bonuses.
It's a
Little out of
big PS. You're a PS guy.
That's exactly right. So I want to walk through the campaign I dropped as a bonus this morning in the mastermind group because I'm already seeing people like Lisa who did an excellent job executing. I want to give more context on this strategy because I think this is a massive opportunity, especially if you're somebody who's listening right now who's in a market where maybe you're struggling with like sellers being unrealistic about price. Maybe you're dealing with like over a lot of overpriced homes and you're trying to figure out how can I kind of create some marketing around this idea of pricing strategy so I don't have to do the heavy lifting at the kitchen table is the point. So, on that note, Lee, any other housekeeping items before we dive into the details?
Nothing big. We always record these calls. They live on a playlist in YouTube. I also drop them into the Facebook group. And I'll drop some links as we go to make sure you're in the Facebook group, make sure you've got access to all the good things. But no, let's rock it, man.
Yeah, a great call, Ali. With the Facebook group is where the money's made. I mean, like this is where we're sharing wins, we're answering questions. Lee's in there every day. I'm in there every day. It is the best Facebook group in real estate for people who want to become an appointment setting machine, which is our community. So on that note, Lee, let me go ahead and share my screen. For those of you who are maybe new to listing leads or just joining us, you made a really smart decision. Now let's get into the details. You want to log into listingleads.com. So you go to listingleads.com, you sign in. And every week, you are now going to have a marketing plan. As you can see here, this is the marketing plan we have for this week. If you ever want to go back and see previous weeks, you can do that in our tool. But let's go back to this week. We have planned from March 9th to March 13th. The plan is broken up into three big buckets. And it's important you remember this. This is the thing that you want to make sure you keep in your mind because this is the strategy, not just the tactics. Bucket number one is engagement. How do we engage our database, our following? How do we get people to raise their hand? Bucket number two is conversion. How do we take the people who have raised their hand and convert them into opportunities, ultimately conversations, and then finally appointments? And then bucket number three is you got to always be growing. There's no sort of neutral in real estate. You're either going forward or you're going backwards. How do we make sure we're doing something as it relates to our marketing strategy to generate more leads or build our audience? Those are sort of the big three buckets. So it is engage, convert, and grow. That's kind of the order we want you to follow. So let's start off with the deal of the week. The deal of the week is a strategy that we have popularized here with our buddy Sharon over at Real Now with Acquisition, which is basically getting people in your database to raise their hand or engage with you based on what's happening in the market. So every Monday we have a deal of the week campaign. You can see this is an example of one that we have that's an email strategy. Now, I would highly recommend sending the deal of the week campaign out to your entire prospecting list. So the way we think about marketing at Listing Leads is we don't want to fall in love with tags and categories and stages. We're like, you got prospects, you got clients, and you got everybody. Yes, you can exclude, you can get fancy with your filters, but at a high level, it's prospects, clients, everyone. That's the way I want you thinking about marketing so you have no friction in the process. So the deal of the week is a campaign where basically we're saying, hey, you did the research, you found a great deal in your area, off market listing, might be a home that, let's say, is going to be priced really well and sell very quickly because you're an expert, or it's a home that's gone viral on Zillow. It does not have to be your listing. We're going to repeat that. It can be any listing in the MLS because you're not promoting the listing, you're promoting the information or access to the listing. So in this
Yeah, Jimmy,
case,
I, I
go ahead,
want to
Lee.
no, I was gonna say I just wanted to double down on that because it's very confusing for people, especially the first time.
Sure.
The idea again here is kind of the old MLS book. We're sending out the carrot of a listing. It's like a classified. There is this great listing. Call me if you want the information. So I
That's
just want to
right.
be really clear. We're not trying to say, hey, look at this house. Do you want to see it?
Yep.
We're saying, I've got a special deal. Contact me if you want to learn more about getting a deal.
Yeah, it's the OPT bottom line we like to use here at Listing Leads, which is nothing draws a crowd quite like a crowd. And so what we're doing is we're promoting access, not the actual listing itself. And so this is the example of the campaign here, which is, hey, we got a home in Auburn. It's under 500K and the details are inside. Auburn deal of the week. You're house hunting in Auburn and you walk into this, beautifully updated kitchen, the detail that separates it from the other comparable listings, has XYZ feature, which reduces the long-term cost. Has this layout. It's all under XYZ price. Should I send over more details? Now, this deal of the week, we have a free tool. If you guys need some help with this, we have a free tool called automate.listingleads.com/deal. You can use this to find a deal of the week in your area. This is a completely free tool. So if you want to get started with this, you can leverage this to kind of find a deal in your market. We use Zillow's data to find the best deal. Also, as a quick call out, at Better Email, we actually automate this entire process, which we'll get you more details about at the end of today's session. But the deal of the week, however you do it, whether you're doing it yourself, whether you're using a free tool like automate.listingleads.com/deal, or you are automating the entire process end to end using Better Email, it is the Monday campaign. It is a thing that I want you sending out every single Monday without fail. Additionally, like any good campaign, we try to stretch it. Yeah, this is like the expression we like to use, like Lee, is like it's a little bit like a Mexican restaurant where it's all the same kind of ingredients. They're just repurposing in different forms. It's kind of how
Right.
I think about it. Like, hey, it's rice, it's beans, it's guacamole, it's
Right.
pico de gallo, right? Like, oh,
Is
that's a
it
taco, that's a
is it a
bowl.
burrito or a bowl
It's
or
all
that? It
that.
don't
And
matter.
so, I mean, that's how I always think about marketing. I'm like, how can I take this thing that's working and then turn it into something else and repurpose it? So we have it as an example. Once you've done the deal of the week email, you've done 90% of the work. Now you can do a social media post like this, which is, hey, this is our area's deal of the week. Do you want the listing link? Yes, please. Comment below. And by the way, we give you the template for this, the Canva template, if you want to edit this really easily. But this is a social media story you can post. Now, Lee, what I would actually do if I was really kind of getting into the rhythm on this is I would also, once I've created the email, again, whether use Better Email, whether you use our free tool or you did it yourself, and I post to social media, I would also do a video. And you know what would be really cool? And this is what I would actually do is if I was really like, hey, I want to really start setting appointments going into the spring season, I would do it from the first person perspective, which is I would go tour myself the deal of the week. So if I know a home's coming up on Monday, I would tour it. And then I would say, hey everyone, I just walked out of a new listing that's hitting the market in Auburn, New Hampshire. I'm not going to show you all the details right now, but what I can tell you is this home is going to sell quickly. It's got a beautifully updated kitchen. It's got a completely renovated basement. So if you have friends and family over, it's great for entertaining. And oh, by the way, the price is actually one of the best priced homes in this market. I have not seen a home like this hit the market in the last 6 months. If you want the details below, just comment below and I'll get you all the information.
Love it.
Like that's what, like, you guys with me on this? Like I am, you don't have to wait for these extraordinary outcomes in your business. Like I just saw the biggest sale of my life, or I just reached some major milestone to create kind of content like we're talking about right
Right.
now. Okay.
Well, Jimmy, I've always said this, and I won't belabor this too much, but to me, I think, you know, I used to say this a lot when we're talking about CE stuff and training.
Yep.
You're demonstrating to your audience that you're working in real estate. You don't have to say, I'm a real estate agent, call me, I can list your house, I can sell you a house, I can do that. it's really about being present and showing that you're active doing things. So I really love the, hey, I just stepped out of this house, because it means you're working. And people think we make a whole bunch of money for not doing a lot. So I think when you
Sure.
demonstrate that you're consistently doing things, A, you're a good marketer, B, you're a consistent expert.
Lee, you're exactly right, which is, and I'll just stop the camera for 1 second here, which is if you want something done, give it to a busy person. And so all we're trying to do here is lean into the fact that we want you to be working in public. That like I want you to. Lee and I talk a lot about this. Our whole team at Listing Leads talks a lot about this idea, which is I want you to stop buying leads and start setting appointments. And the way you do that is through working in public and constant marketing and keeping people up to date. So building on that momentum, we have the Monday strategy, deal of the week, email and the Instagram post. Then on Tuesday, we do the email of the week. And in the email of the week, what you'll notice is we always make this timely and relevant based on what's happening right now. The three most important words in prospecting are bring something new. So think of listing leads email of the week as the world's best action plan. We all know what action plans are. You sort of subscribe your leads to an action plan in hopes of getting them to convert into maybe a hand raiser. Problem is most action plans are poorly written, out of date, not timely, and as a result, very ineffective. The first one gets a really high open rate. The rest of them basically fall off a cliff. So what we wanted to do is embrace the idea of an action plan, Lee, which is consistently nurturing
Right.
your leads. By the way, I think it's gonna kill me that I'm gonna forget her name. She posted in the group last week, and so maybe Bethany can help me out on this if she's on the call. We had a member of Listing Leads who followed up with an open house a lead that she met for 2 years, just emailing them. And the person finally, after 2 years, responded to the email of the week and said, "Yeah, basically, I'm on a list. Like your email caught my attention." And I love that she shared that. Thank you, Bethany. Katie. I love that. And Bethany, do me a favor, grab the link to Katie's post. We'll drop it in the chat too. I just so appreciate Katie taking the time to share that story because it just emphasizes the importance of executing on a consistent basis. So coming back to the email of the week, we saw the stat recently that blew us away. We haven't seen it in 10 years. Last fall, 45,000 sellers threw up their hands. If we can't get the price we want, we're taking the home off the market. Now they're back. I just read it on CNBC that sellers are relisting their properties at the fastest rate in a decade. What kind of spring season should they expect? Here's what we know so far. Stat, stat, stat. I'll be tracking this data closely. Now, notice how we do the anti sales pitch here. We don't necessarily turn the corner and say, hey, if you're thinking of selling your house, give me a call right now. If you want to update the home value, like we do have that as part of the PS because the PS is like you have free range to sell always in the PS. But the essence of this email is essentially saying, hey, here is what just happened. Bring something new. Here's why it matters. Here's some information you should know. And I want to help encourage everyone here on today's call that like this is how you should be doing email marketing for your database. So if you feel like you're leaving deals on the table, it's because we got to get better information in front of them. We have to establish ourselves as the bona fide expert. Lee, anything else to add here on the email of the week? Thank you,
I don't
Bethany.
think so. Well, just aside from the fact that, to be clear, this is written by a human a few days before you get it. So it's
Correct.
always going to be the most, unless you're researching mortgage rate, unless you're doing all the things we're doing, researching the mortgage rates and the trends and things that are happening.
Yep.
This truly is an easy button. It's meant to be evergreen. Yes, you could change it if you really needed to. The reality of it is done is better than perfect. Send it.
That's exactly
A
right.
lot of people do overthink the content, and I want to be really clear. Like we spend a lot of time on it. It is not an accident. We didn't put a PS there by chance. We didn't use a certain word. It's
Yep.
very intentional.
Well, and Lee, you're spot on. And building on that, I want to call something out because we got a ton of feedback on this, and we want to make sure you guys didn't miss this. You see how you have the how to execute option? Notice how you now have options to change the messaging based on your market. Like, put a W in the chat if you love this feature, because this is probably the most requested thing. But hey, Jimmy, I love the message, but I'm in a like ice cold buyer's market. Or hey, Jimmy, I love the market, I love this message, but like, you know what? Homes are actually still really selling very quickly. So we now have a feature within listing leads where you can literally click on this and it's going to change it. It's going to make it's like a golf swing lead. Like, we're not rewriting the whole thing because the
Right.
message is always kind of designed, but it's like a 15% swing. And all we're doing here is demonstrating that we understand the local market. So I really appreciate you guys like that feature. Okay. So Lee, we've got the email of the week. We've got the social media post, which is the deal of the week. Now we have the email that goes out on Tuesday. Let's talk about the text strategy at Listing Leads. So, because we have a bunch of newbies on this, but it's also a good refresher for all our OGs, every week we write a brand new texting script. Now, Anika posted in our group, because I actually asked the question in our Facebook group. I said, how many of you have sent a ZMA recently? And about half the people were like, oh, it's been a while. And then the other half were like, oh, what's a ZMA? And then one person came along, Anika, shout out to Anika, who says, yeah, we got 6 listings last year from the ZMA strategy. And what I love most about Anika's story is Anika doesn't send the ZMA, her assistant does. And it's a part of an SOP. So if you're not familiar with the ZMA, it's a very simple text script. You know, when I announced this probably 3 or 4 years ago now, Lee, at a Tom Ferry event, I remember I developed this campaign 4 years ago. And I remember I was in the audience, about 1,000 agents in the audience at this like elite retreat event. And I was like in one of these like, little sub breakout rooms. And I swear, Lee, as soon as I walked through the strategy for like, I've been talking for about 10 minutes, every single person's phone went up like this. And I realized, oh, like this is a strategy that's easy to execute. It's easy to understand. And like like you see it, you're like, oh, that just makes complete sense. And so let me just share the strategy with you, which is it starts with making a list of your people in your sphere, like people that you have their address, you have their phone number, you have their contact information, and you have like the last time you contacted them. So by the way, you could just export this from your CRM if you want to make it real easy. Put in a spreadsheet, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go to their Zillow profile and you are going to take a screenshot of their estimate. Okay. So if I go to Zillow right now as an example, Lee, and I'll go ahead and pull up a home that's and some of these actually, we'll find out if they have this here on active listings. Let's see here. They may take the Zestimate off active listings. There we go. No, they didn't.
There we
Still
go.
there. I'm going to take a screenshot of this home, right? This is a home on Zillow. And that screenshot that I just took of their Zestimate is going to be the kind of like the grounds for the campaign. So now when I come back to it, I'm going to say, hey, Lee, it's Jimmy. Just pulled up your home on Zillow. There's something that I want you to see. Zillow estimates your home's value has increased $435,000 since 2018. Boom. Include the screenshot I just took. It has you at 1.6 million. Thoughts? And what you'll notice about this, Lee, it's going to kill me that I'm going to forget this, but the Japanese technique where
Ah,
they take is a kajutsu where
we
they
had
take
it last. We had it last time I saved
we
it,
have
but
like where they this there's an art form in Japan where they if the bowl breaks, they actually fill the cracks with gold, and therefore it increases the perceived value and real value of the actual pottery. Someone will help educate me because I am clearly not
Kintsugi.
Kazuki. Thank you. Yes. So like what I want to call this out with our scripting, we have natural imperfections that we fill in the cracks with gold. So instead of saying like, when I was on Zillow earlier today, Zillow estimated that your home is worth 1.6 million. I now sound like a robot. And so by using a phrase like, and Bethany did a great job writing this, it has you at 1.6 million. Thoughts? That is how we communicate as humans. That's how we communicate, which is going to make sure that people know this is something that's unique and different to them. So what I want you to do, let me just zoom the lens out here. I want you to create the deal of the week email, create the deal of the week social media post. And bonus, shoot the video. I just gave you the script for that. Then I want you to follow up with an email the next day on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I want you to go through and just text anybody in your sphere who has opened up the email, because this email is really seller centric. The deal of the week is real estate centric. I now took maybe like my 500 people on SOI and I got 50 people that I should follow up with a ZMA on. Are you guys with me on this? Like, this is how you become an appointment setting machine. This is how you get out of that sort of like doing marketing and kind of hoping it works to kind of be in a position where you are in complete control. Just like let me know in the chat if you guys are with me. This is so important to understand this concept and this approach, because once you understand this and once you execute it, you will never have to worry about getting another customer again. This is how it works. Okay. And by the way, this is not a theory, Lee. This is the playbook
Right.
that we use to basically build a $20 billion in signed business from a
See it,
from
man.
a 4,000 agents testing this with. Shelly's going, I'm going to need a recording so I can get a step by step on this.
We got you.
Absolutely. We got you. By the way, quick call out, Shelly. In listing leads, we have the campaign kickoff. If you click on this, all the recordings are in the app. So every campaign kickoff we've done, including the ones where my tan was better, you'll be able to go check those ones out. So you'll see it degrade over time.
I'll see if I can AI this video, Jimmy. You seem very concerned about
Oh man,
your films.
well, I'm so vain and
Well,
so
come visit me.
my ego's so fragile that I have to do
Well,
something here, Lee.
it's 70 and sunny here, so just come on down.
I love it. Okay, moving on to Thursday. We're going to wrap here in 8 minutes. Moving on to Thursday. We have the Magic Buyer Letter Carousel campaign. We won't go into the details of this because we cover this 1,000 times, but the Magic Buyer Letter is a very simple strategy where you can basically take the active buyers you have right now who don't have a house and you can convert them into opportunities. So we created a carousel campaign that you could post on Instagram as an Instagram story. I got 5 board buyers who are ready to move in XYZ area. Here's what they're looking for. Buyer 1, buyer 2, buyer 3, buyer 4. Lee, I can do the exact same thing, post as a carousel, and then follow on with a video as well. Hey, I
Yep.
just posted on Instagram. I got 4 buyers who are actively looking for homes in Auburn. Here's a breakdown of what they're looking for. Buyer number 1 is looking for A, buyer number 2, B, buyer number 3, C. If you know anybody who is even having the earliest thoughts of selling, please, I promise my buyers I would do everything in my power to help them out. Send me a DM right now. You guys with me? Like, working in public. So we have the Magic Buyer campaign, which kind of breaks this down. It's a wildly effective campaign. And then, of course, you can't do Magic Buyer unless you also send it by mail. Shout out to Tiffany Vasquez. Shout out to Scott Stedman. Shout out to some of our Nick Shoemaker, our direct mail gurus in the community. We developed a brand new one here to give you some perspective on this. But the way it works is if Lee's my buyer, I'll walk you through the logic on this. Lee's my buyer. I would say, Lee, what are your deal breakers? What are the things you absolutely must have? What is your price range, high to low? Assuming you got a good deal. And what are the areas you want to live in? Okay, Lee just gave me the farm list that I need to go pull from my title rep or from PropStream or from Breakthrough Broker or from whatever services I'm using. Now that I have that list, I'm going to take Lee's criteria, the list, and I'm going to use this exact campaign. And I'm going to send out 100 and 150 mailers. And what I'm looking to do with this is a scalpel, not a hammer, Lee. I am
Yep.
trying to basically, hit 100 homes that's really relevant to, not just blast my entire farm.
Right.
Lee, I can say with confidence, we've helped people generate well over $500 million in business from Magic Buyer Letters. And it is the one thing. And actually in the chat, let me know. Has it been longer than over a month since you have sent a Magic Buyer Letter? Like in the chat, just say yes or no. Has it been longer than 1 month since you've sent a Magic Buyer Letter? Shelly, no, love that, Shelly. Good execution. Devin saying, yep, 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 yep. Okay. So this is your reminder, team. Like, this is your reminder. Like, this is a campaign I want you doing this week. And then when people raise their hands, right? Like, now it's time to let's share that in the group. Let's share that success because we all feed off of that. Yeah, I love it. Mikhail saying I'm gonna start sending 1,000 per month. Yeah. So, Mikhail, this is the big thing here is that don't send 1,000 to like one campaign to 1,000 homes. Maybe take three or four buyers and send, one campaign to 250 specific homes. So the higher the quality of the list that matches your buyer criteria, the better the results. Gary's saying, where do you get the list to mail to? Gary, you have a couple options. Our friends over at Breakthrough Broker is a good option. You can also use your title rep, which is awesome. And by the way, look at Sue. Can everyone just stop for a second? Go to the chat right now. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so we can all focus on that. Look at just Sue said. Sue sent 400, got 5 people to raise their hand. Sue, I've been doing marketing for almost 20 years now. When you do direct mail campaigns, if you can get like a 5 out of 400, that is an absolute home run. I know people who have sent 10,000 pieces of mail to get like one person to say, stop mailing me. To send 400 and to get 5 people to raise their hand. This is why we are so bullish on this strategy. And by the way, uh, oh, yeah, great call out there.
That's awesome, Sue.
I love it. Okay. So, by the way, first time you've done it. So, Sue, do it again and again and again. Don't get bored. I love it.
Here's the bad news. Good job. Keep doing it.
Yeah. And Devin saying, hey, I sent 525, didn't get any hand raisers. Devin, I would say let's drop in the group here. We can sort of crowdsource, help you with this. It might just be the messaging, it might be the delivery, it might be the targeting. Like part of what I wish in marketing that it was like bullseyes. We just throw the dart and hit the bullseye every time, but it's a lot more like horseshoes. We're just trying to get closer to the pin, and you got to get shots on goal, and that's the biggest thing for sure. So, yeah, and Shelly called it out. By the way, Shelly's like, hey, can you share the letter in the group? So, yes, yes, Sue, do us a favor. Jump over to the Facebook group as soon as this is over. Drop the success story. Include the details. I know this community is going to love it, and they're just incredibly grateful. So thank you, Sue. All right, let's end with this. We ask this every weekly so we know the answer to the question, which is how important is YouTube to your business? We have a lot of people on today's call who want to get more listings from YouTube, right? From YouTube. And so we have every week, we create a video of the week. Now, the video of the week is based off of our YouTube library, which is the greatest, largest database of high quality, high performing outlier videos in real estate. And this thing is, if you are a YouTuber or you plan to get leads from YouTube, if you want to become the next Ken Pozek as an example, this thing is absolute gold. Last time I checked, we had 763 hand-picked videos, right? In
With
our
scripts
library.
and recommendations. It's a thumbnail. It's pretty
It's
nuts.
everything, Lee.
Also look at that. Our friend Sally Daly right there in the #1 spot.
I love it. Shout out to Sally Daly. This is awesome. And Sally, this is awesome to see Sally getting some traction. And if I went to Sally's channel, maybe she's got a few hundred subscribers right now. Yeah, she's got 1,600 subscribers, which, by the way, this video she just did has 1,700 views, I think it was. Her outlier video.
27. Oh yeah. She got a chunk of good one. 27K on one.
She's killing it. This is probably, you could just see here she made a shift. It looks like she must have hired a firm, probably my friends over at Known, because she made a shift and you could just see how her videos are getting better and better and better. So
Right.
shout out
But
to Sally on that.
how long? I'm sorry if you want to hop back. How long? When was it started? When are the old videos?
So 4 months ago, she had her old style video. You can see here,
Yeah.
by the way, like 48 views. And then look at this one. Her first video, she has to have hired Known.
Wow.
First video, 37,000 views, 6,000 views, 3,000
That's
views,
nuts. 33.
33,000 views. Shout out to Sally and our friends over at Known. By the way, let me know in the chat. We have my partner at Beacon, Chris Smith, is also co-owner in a company called Known. They are the only YouTube advertising agency. It's a high-end product. I think they charge $4,500 a month for their service, but it's a full-service YouTube platform. I want to get these guys on to do a YouTube masterclass, just to say for all of our
Yeah.
DIYers who want to basically, hey, I don't got a big budget, but I want to do it. Are you guys down for that? Let me know in the chat right now. Would you want them to come on? Because you could just see. They did an awesome job with some of these campaigns. Yeah. Yep. Love it. Yeah.
Sorry, sorry to derail. I know you wanted to stay on time, but I got excited.
No, I love it. So we have come back to the plan. Yeah. It's called Known. I'll get some information. We'll drop into the show notes as well, for their website. But we have it on the listing attraction plan. We have the video of the week that you can then execute as well. So high level, everything we covered right now, Lee, the email of the week, the deal of the week, right? The social media post of the week, everything is designed to help you engage your database, help you convert your database, and help you grow your database. Now, where I want to end today's session, this is important. Where I want to end today's session is I did something really cool this morning, and I want you all to see this because we're starting to see people already execute this. I'm going to jump over to the Facebook group right now, Lee, so bear with me 1 second.
Cool.
This I want to give some perspective on this. Um, I've been thinking a lot about pricing. And by the way, if you're new to these campaign kickoff calls, like I know these are fast paced. We have 30 minutes with you every week, but like let us know in the chat. Is this helpful? Like, does this give you some inspiration? Does this give you some motivation? Does this give you some like clarity on what you should be doing next? Like, let us know in the chat right now. We definitely want to hear the feedback on these sessions. So let me come back here, and I just want to show you something real quick, which is I created this campaign earlier today. And thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Deb. Love it, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. Good to see you in the call. So I created this campaign earlier today, and I just want to call it out, which is I had this like line, Lee. I did some research on this. I said, hey, what is the actual negative impact of overpricing your home? And there are actually 3 peer-reviewed studies done that empirically prove overpricing your home causes you to sell your house for less than comparables. Because after 30 days, buyers stop asking about like what's the price, they start asking what's wrong.
Well, yeah, why is it sitting there?
Why is it sitting there? And so what they found in these studies is that like overpricing your home doesn't just cause them to sell slower, they sell for less. And so I said, you know what? What would be the best thing we can do to communicate this message? So I created a social media graphic. And this social media graphic is effectively saying, hey, overpricing homes don't just sell slower, they sell for less. And I give like 2 visual representations of 2, one that's priced right, one that's overpriced. And so what I did for you, because I love this for a social media campaign, I also love this for a video campaign, right? As an example, I'll give you a script on that in a second. But I actually created, if you go to the link, I created a prompt for you. You guys can I'll drop this in the chat right now. You can jump over to Claude on this, and you can take this exact prompt, take your data from the last like 6 months from your MLS, 6 months, 12 months, like export as much as you possibly can. Take that export, that CSV file, attach it to this prompt in Claude, and it will create the visual for you. You can see here, Lisa did it already. By the way, look at this, right?
Nice.
So this is real data from her MLS.
Yeah.
So
With their city added in and all the stuff. League City.
everything.
Shout out to League City, Texas, by the way.
I love it. I mean, look at this. Do you
Beautiful.
have like a connection there, Lee? Is that like a
Yeah.
family there?
Yeah, I grew up about 30 minutes away. So
Oh, from
we're
League
buddies.
City? Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought you were just from born and raised in Alpharetta or
No, no.
Marietta.
I'm a Texas. You can't tell I'm a Texas boy. Come on.
It's hard for us New Englanders to distinguish
That's
between
fair.
anybody in the South, Lee.
That's
Uh,
fair. We're all just Southern.
you guys all just talk really slow.
That's right.
That's how we interpret it. So what you're looking at, though, I mean, shout out to Lisa. Great job executing this. But this is a campaign where like you could just see, you could just see you can upload the data and you can create this. So I wanted to give this to you as a bonus. This is a free listing leads bonus. Take it, use it, create a campaign for your own market. It's in our mastermind group. This is Campaign Kickoff Call. We host it every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. These calls, as Lee mentioned in the beginning, are recorded. Execute the plan, stay active in the community, and keep sharing those wins with us. We will see you guys next week.